I feel like an old hobo on sad, lonesome and blue. I was fair as a summer day. Now the summer days are through. You pass through places, and places pass through you, but you carry them with you on the soles of your traveling shoes. Well, I love you so dearly, I love you so clearly. I'll wake you up in the morning so early just to tell you I got the wandering blues. I got the wandering blues, and I'm gonna quit these rambling ways one of these days soon. And I sing the little ass birds, sing the pretty ass songs. The little ass birds sing the pretty ass songs. The little ass birds sing the pretty ass songs. The little ass birds sing the pretty ass songs. Those times like these, I feel so small and wild, like rambling footsteps of a wandering child. And I'm lonesome as a lonesome whippoorwill, singing these blues with a warble and chill. But I'm not too blue to fly. No, I'm not too blue to fly. 'Cause the little ass birds sing the prettiest songs. 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 Well, I love you so dearly, I love you so fearlessly. I wake you up in the morning so early just to tell you I got the wandering blues. I got the wandering blues. I don't wanna leave you, I love you through and through. Well, I left my baby on a pretty blue train, and I sang my songs to the cold and the rain. And I had the wandering blues, and I sang those wandering blues. And I'm gonna quit these rambling ways one of these days soon. And I sing the little ass birds sing the prettiest songs. 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 I don't care if the sun don't shine. I don't care if nothing is mine. I don't care if I'm nervous with you. I'll do my loving in the winter time.
Hello, welcome to the Loop and Bar podcast. My name's Kate and I'm coming to you from North Wales in the UK. Today is July let me look at my calendar. Oh, it's in Welsh, it takes me ages to find the day. July the 6th, 2017, and it's a really beautiful hot day outside. The sun's shining and it's baking. Charlie's not in the room with me because it's too hot. I've just left her downstairs. I've given her a bit of a hose down, a soaking with the cold hose, because she was panting quite a lot. And I've instructed her to just lay quietly at the bottom of the stairs because that's the coolest place in the house, so that's what she's doing. Hopefully she won't come up here because it's too hot for her. Now this is episode 24, I think, and it's quite a long time since my last episode, so thank you to everybody who's been patient and waiting for this episode to come out. Life's been very, very busy. We've had loads of stuff on, just how it is sometimes. You just get busy and the time flies. So, but I've been wanting to get a podcast recorded for ages now, and I definitely have been very busy in the background. So I've got lots to show you. I suspect we're in this for the long haul today. I've even got notes. They're taped to the wall next to me. And you might notice that I have rearranged the setup slightly. I've got the camera in a different place. I've been playing around with the dresser. You might have seen a little bit in the intro that you've just seen if you watched that. What was in the intro? Oh, you saw a little bit of the guinea pigs. I've had some requests by people to see a little bit more footage of the guineas, so hopefully you saw the guinea pigs. The one that was on my lap eating grass was Munchie, and the other three are called Peppermint, Hedgehog and Lupin. And since I took that footage, which was a few weeks ago actually, they have had their hair cut because their hair grows really long, and I presume they get really hot. They certainly get a bit tangled up, so I've got some little guinea pig clippers, like little electric shears, so they've had a shearing since that piece of footage, so hopefully they're nice and cool in this weather. They're really enjoying being outside as well, so that's been nice. You would have seen me and a little bit of mine and Charlie's walk in the intro. What else have I got? A little bit more Charlie time. People have been asking after Charlie. She's absolutely fine. I'm sure because I'm saying her name she's probably going to come up the stairs. No, I think she might have gone to sleep, that's good. She has been at the vet, she's had a checkup. She had a funny thing happening with her nostril. It was a bit... something was coming out of it. And so she... what else did she have? She had a couple of other things and I was getting all concerned. So I took her to the vet for a big checkup, and she had an x-ray, she had a thorough health check, and she had some sort of swab things taken up her nostril, which isn't very nice, but she was asleep for that. So, and they still might have to just check to find out what exactly that was. The results are at the lab at the moment, so we're waiting to hear from the vet, but other than that she's absolutely fine. She's perfectly happy, and yeah, like I say, hopefully she's cooling off downstairs. Avion's not here today. He's helping his dad and brother on their farm, which is about half an hour's drive away. So if you hear any farm vehicles going past, it won't be Avion, it will be whoever else is working on the farm today. But Avion's probably driving his dad's tractor around the farm. I think they're doing the hay and the silage harvest, so I think he's going to be back quite late tonight, so I might not see him until really late because I've got my knit night tonight, which is I'm really looking forward to. I missed it last week because I was too busy to go, so I can't wait to go to that and see everybody and have a catch up and a little bit of a natter, do some knitting with friends, so that'll be lovely. Now, what do I want to talk about first? Oh, we've got a very exciting celebration to celebrate. It occurred to me a little while back that Loop and Bar, the podcast and the Ravelry group, are now 1 year old. So Loop and Bar is having a birthday, or has had its birthday, its birthday. Loop and Bar is now 1 year old. I think I started the podcast in June, or maybe a little bit before, but I definitely started the Ravelry group in June. So that means that throughout June, in the Ravelry group, we celebrated the 1 year birthday by doing a few little nice things. I can't remember if I talked about that in the last podcast, because I don't know how long ago the last podcast was. and I don't know if I had already thought of it by then. So, but very briefly, we did a small things swap, and we just kept that in the Ravelry group. I didn't put it out there on Instagram or anything, so because I knew I was going to be really busy throughout June with other stuff, not podcast stuff. I did just want to keep that small, and we were kind of just celebrating, particularly with the main group of Ravelry members that have been really interactive in the Knit Lounge thread over the last year since the Ravelry group started. So it was a little celebration of that, really. So we did a small things swap. Oh, and I've got a couple of things from my swap gift package to show you because they're so beautiful. So I'll start with that, because you might want to just start seeing things. Oh no, I thought Charlie was here. It's the wind. It's the wind blowing the door. So I think about 15 or 16 of us took part in the small things swap, and the only kind of rules that I gave were that whatever you sent to your swap partner had to fit inside an A5 envelope and nothing bigger. I just wanted to keep it small, not complicated, definitely not expensive, and you know, best things come in small packages sometimes. So, and they definitely did. We got some absolutely beautiful things being sent backwards and forwards in the swap. So I'll show you a couple of mine. And one of the other things that I said, that I asked people to make sure, was that one item in the envelope was handmade, and it didn't have to be handmade by themselves, but as long as it was handmade by someone, I thought that would be a nice little touch as well to the swap. So if you're interested to see what people sent to each other, you can go and have a look. The thread is still open. I think people really enjoyed it, and there's possibly talk of another swap at some point in the near future. So if you think you might want to be involved in that, then it might be worth coming and joining in the Knit Lounge thread in the Ravelry group, because that's where we do most of our chatting and ideas sort of stuff. Because I suppose at some point, maybe in the next few weeks, I will close the small things swap thread. Yeah, so we'll probably, any ideas for new cals or swaps, anything like that, usually start to sort of take seed in the Knit Lounge thread, which is the best place to come and say hello, by the way, if you want to do that as well, and join in with a chatter. So, but without further ado, my lovely swap partner was called Emma, and she's been really active in the Ravelry thread since she joined the group. It's been really lovely getting to know her, and I've been eating the most delicious brownies because she sent me the recipe for them in my swap package, and I've got them here. I don't know if I can. Okay, one of them's on the table now, but I've eaten quite a lot of them. I'll just have a little bite because they're so delicious. I can't resist it. Now I've got to talk with my mouth full. Wait a minute. I'll just chew this. I'll zoom ahead a bit. Okay, that's done. I've eaten that. Thank you, Emma, for that absolutely wonderful brownies recipe. I totally recommend it. If anybody wants a fabulous brownies recipe, let me know, and I'll pop it on Ravelry or something, if Emma doesn't mind. So she sent me the recipe, but she also sent me, and this was her handmade item as well, so this is something she made herself, and it's amazing, and I'm totally and utterly in love with it. It's a pouch, and it's gorgeous. It's just so gorgeous. I just love it so much. I don't know how close I need to put it to the camera, because this is a new camera angle that I'm trying, so I'll just hold it back so hopefully you'll be able to see it. And it's got a beautiful blue zip. It's gorgeous, the same blue as the flowers. And inside, and it is lined, and inside I've got my little embroidery hoop. And some embroidery things. Oh, that's where they are. I've been looking for those. Oh, I forgot I put those in there. I'm going to keep those out. No, I'm not, because I need them in there in case I do some more embroidery. For my small things swap, I sent my swap partner, who was a different partner. We did it where you do the kind of chain thing. You make a list and then you send to the person below. So Emma sent to me Thank you, Emma. Oh, I love this so much. And she sent me some other things as well. I've got another thing to show you here. And I sent to Joe, and I also sent to Sarah, because Sarah joined in. Oh, was it Sarah? Who was it? I think it was Sarah. Joined in at, yes it was, joined in at the last minute, so I had 2 people to send to, which was lovely as well. It's really exciting putting together a little package, especially when something's got to be handmade in it. So I love my pouch, it's so gorgeous. There were some other little knickknacks and bits and bobs, really lovely things, including this most beautiful notebook, which is absolutely gorgeous. And it's got this stag on the front. Hope I'm getting it in the shot there. And I've started using it already. Oh, it's even so lovely inside, look. I've started using it to write the measurements for my pattern pieces, for my bags, just to keep a note of all of those, because sometimes when I'm cutting out the patterns with my rotary wheel, they're just card patterns, templates basically. Occasionally I'm a bit I like to think I'm quite a precise person, but occasionally I chop a bit off. So maybe I'm not that precise. So every so often I have to recut the paper templates. So I've made a note of all the different sizes of those pattern pieces and the lengths that I need to cut the drawstring pieces to, things like the notes for the seam allowances that I'm using. Because a bit further down the line, if I have a big break, or if I start to make something in a different style and then want to remake something I haven't made for a long time, it's really handy to have notes to say how you made it. So that's what this book is, and so it's staying on the dresser, and every time I do something a little bit new I write it down in here so I know exactly how to do it again. I just love the flowers in his, I'll show you again, I just love the flowers in his antlers, it's beautiful. So that's just 2 of the lovely things that Emma sent me, and I really enjoyed doing that swap, and I really enjoyed seeing everybody else, what everybody else had sent each other as well. So I think everybody got a lot out of that in terms of enjoyment. And in terms of getting to know each other as well, because we had a few fairly new members to the group who joined in with the swap, so it was a lovely way for them to be introduced to some of the more regular members of the group as well. So if you want to be involved in a future swap, look out for that in the Knit Lounge thread, because I'm sure we'll do another one soon. Right, so what else shall I... Now just see what... I'm just going to consult my list to see what to talk about next. I might edit a few of these bits out. Because... And also, I'm going to just check if the camera's recording. Excuse me a second. Yes. It's recording, so that's good. I can carry on. I'm sure I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been up to lately before I launched into showing you things. But now that I've sat down and started talking to the camera, I can't really remember what I even did yesterday, let alone over the last few weeks. Oh, I'll tell you what we did do, and you might have seen it on Instagram. It was International Knitting in Public Day, and I did a poster, put it on Facebook for our knitting group and called it National Knitting in Public Day. I forgot to put the inter bit in, but it was Worldwide Knitting Day, and I think a lot of the hashtags on Instagram were hashtag Worldwide Knitting Day, possibly. So it was fun to see what everybody else was up to on that day around the world, and my knitting group went to the local pub. It was raining. We were intending to go and have a picnic in the park in the nearby town, and we were hoping to sort of get a few more people involved in the knitting group that way, but it was really rainy, cold, rainy weather, so we went to the local pub instead and we had a really lovely time. I can't put the footage on here because I took the footage on my phone, but I did a little clip of us around the table, just of us knitting, and I put it onto Instagram, and it did have sound on it, and it would have been really interesting for you to hear because a lot of the women in my group were speaking in Welsh, and it would have been nice if you could have heard some Welsh conversation. But when I played it back after it had been uploaded to Instagram already for sort of half the day, for some reason my phone doesn't play my videos back. So I looked on my computer when I got home, and when I watched the little video clip back, all of the sound was really distorted, like it had been slowed down by 300 times or something. So it's a lovely clip visually, but if you've got the sound on, you'll just hear this really weird, like blurred, like sounds like someone's trying to speak underwater or something. So I'm sorry about that, and yeah, I don't know what went wrong there. Probably something to do with my phone, because it's on its way out, I think. So, but we had a really good time. We had lots of fun doing our knitting in public. I think we only intended to be there for a couple of hours, but we were there for something like four hours at least, I think. So, and I had a few shanties, which was exciting. Avion actually dropped me off and came to collect me, and that was very good. I was knitting a little bit tipsy, but everything went okay. Oh, and so I think what I'll do is I'll show you now what I think I was knitting on that day. I'll show you what I was knitting on, because I'm sure you'd like to see a little bit of knitting by now. So I'll start by showing you one of my knitting projects. I'm probably just going to do this all in a bit of a mixed up order. I won't do it in sort of segments, because I don't tend to do that anyway. Just put my brownies there, trying not to drop my brownies on my knitting again. Okay, so the thing I was knitting on at International Knitting in Public Day was a little tiny cute project. It's one of my favourite things to knit. You've seen it before on the podcast. And yesterday was a very exciting day in our family, because Avion's sister, Ellery, had a little baby. She gave birth to a little boy. She's got 2 girls already, who I've spoken about before on the podcast, and I've shown you things that I've made them on the podcast before. But she's now got a little boy. We didn't know before the baby was born if she was having a girl or a boy. So I used this yarn, and there's something on the label. It's Sirdar Snuggly, but because the writing's in silver, you might not actually be able to read the label. I'll just try it and see, because it's quite a daylighty day. It's quite a sunny day, so I've got a feeling you won't be able to really read the writing. But it's this yarn, and it's Sirdar Snuggly double knitting. It's totally super soft. It is, I believe, 100% acrylic, I think. But I can't find where it says it. No, it's not. It's half nylon, half acrylic. But it's fully machine washable at 40 degrees, which is the reason why I chose it really well, partly for its softness, and partly because Larry's already got 2 small children and a new baby, so she definitely does not want to be hand washing things. And also it's not too warm, as in probably as warm as wool would be. I wanted to knit something a little bit cooler, but I know that Larry likes really vibrant colours, so I didn't, for the cotton selection of yarns, the colours just didn't speak to me, and I just didn't think that they were bright enough or vibrant enough for what Larry would like, so especially the colours that would suit girl or boy. So, but here's what I've knit. It's the, do you know what? I've forgotten who wrote the pattern. Also, I'm not entirely sure how to say it. I'll just give you a good old look at the cardie first. It's so cute. You've seen them before. There's the back of it, and as you can see, it opens all the way. The whole thing opens all the way down the front. You knit it top down, backwards and forwards, so not in the round, but I knit it on one long circular with a cable, all in one, as it were. And these are the lovely buttons that actually arrived yesterday morning. I think they're just plastic. They're really lightweight, and I just wanted a mint colour, because again it's a neutral colour, and I just thought it went really nice with the orange, and I know Larry's going to really like the colour of it, and it definitely is going to look lovely on a little boy. I'm pretty sure he's going to be too small for it at the moment, and judging by the weather today, it's going to be too hot for him to wear it, so maybe in a couple of weeks, if we have a bit of a cold snap, 2 or 3 weeks when he's got a little bit bigger, perhaps this is going to be the perfect size. Now, in the past I've called it the Pure Perium, but lovely Jules, hi Jules, Jules from the So Sweet Violet podcast, she knit one of these. I think there was a baby in her family. And the last time not the last time I watched her podcast, because it was a while ago, but one of the podcasts, she said she'd seen me knitting this pattern and decided to give it a go. Now, Jules, she pronounced it as the purperium. And I'm thinking because she has got children, she might actually know how to say that word. So possibly this is called the purperium. But it's on Ravelry. It's a really easy, lovely little pattern. And I love doing it. It's one of my favourite things to make. So I might make a couple more. I guess you could make larger size by just increasing the numbers a little bit. But there is a beyond purperium pattern as well for when children are toddling. So I suppose I could look at that one too. But anyway, for now, that's just gorgeous. And I'm sure that he'll fit into that for quite a while. Because he was only £7 3 ounces, and I think that's not huge, is it, for a baby? That's sort of baby size. It's not huge, I don't think. He wasn't a £9 anyway, so I think that will fit in for a little while. So I'm really happy with that. I wish I could remember the designer's name, but it's on my Ravelry page. Actually, that particular one isn't, but I have got another one on my Ravelry page. I definitely need to update my Ravelry project pages. I'm not very good at that. I haven't done any updating on that since the last time I mentioned that I needed to, so that's a job I need to sit down and do. I should have a little drink. Okay, feel like I'm talking really fast because once again I've got tons of stuff in front of me that I really want to talk about. So let me just see what I'm going to start ticking things. I'll show you these quickly. I treated myself, I got them out to show you, to some beautiful colouring pens. Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. I love them. I don't actually have a colouring book and I don't really do colouring. Just because there's so much other stuff that I do, I just don't think I've got time to actually sit and colour. I'd love to, but the reason I bought them was because I've been doing some pattern cutting, so I'll show you that in a little while. I've started the trousers that I said I was going to have a go at making, and I've started the pattern cutting process for that. And once you've got your first outline done, you need to, I've just thought that I need to, I don't know how I'm going to know when the camera stops recording. I'm going to check again that it's still recording. I've got a feeling it'll beep at me. I can't remember. Yeah, it's still recording. It's probably going to beep at me. See, that's how long it is since I did a podcast. I'm sure it does a little flashy beep thing, so I'll just have to try and listen out for that because I don't want to have to re-record stuff and repeat myself again. So I got these lovely colouring pens, and if you're drafting a pattern on paper from scratch, you do your initial block and then you start to introduce what they call, I think this is right, style lines, which give you the sort of shape, the design shape of the thing of the garment that you're designing. And sometimes you need to draw in different parts and pieces of the pattern on that one first plan, so you need different colours to do it so that you know which bits you're looking at and you can tell one piece from the other. So I've got a packet of beautiful colouring pens to use, and I've used one of them to scribble my great big notes on some pattern paper on the wall, which you can't see, I don't think. I don't think you can see that in the shot. But I'm just going to do some of that ticking so that I know what I've talked about already. Because that's what I need to do today to make sure that I get everything in. The stuff on that list is the stuff I definitely want to talk about. So that's good. Okay, excellent. That wasn't even on the list, but it was in front of me. Excellent system. Yeah, I'll just have to muddle through. Would you like to see a finished object? I've been dying to show you this. I don't even think I've Instagrammed it. I was wearing it though on my little video, very quick video shot of the knitting in public day. So I just appear very, very quickly at the end smiling, and I don't know if you can even see this properly, but I'm wearing my Carpino jumper. I'll just go back a bit so I can show you. So it's completely finished, ends woven in. Don't even think I blocked it. I'm not sure if I blocked it, I just put it straight on. I started wearing it and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it so, so much. It's just gorgeous. It's really soft. I've got to say, when I was knitting it, I thought the yarn felt so soft, like clouds, beautiful. And then as soon as I'd finished the jumper completed, I put it on, and for the first time that I put it on, I thought to myself, it's itchy and I can't wear it. And I was really worried and a little bit sort of disappointed, thinking I'd wasted all my time knitting a jumper that I wouldn't be able to wear, that I really loved, and that was too itchy to wear. So I thought, well, I'll just wear it with a shirt or something, a long sleeve under it. And I did that a couple of times, and then I think I just had jersey t-shirts, long sleeve jersey t-shirt, not a shirt with a collar, one day, and I just put the jumper on, and it was fine, perfectly fine, totally soft, even when the yarn or the jumper is resting on my neck here, it's completely fine. So I'm really happy to say that it's totally comfortable. It's so, so, so soft. If you're really sensitive and you hold it against your skin, you might feel a tiny bit of that sort of woolly prickle. But I would say that actually when you're wearing it, you don't really feel that. So it's definitely worth using this beautiful yarn, and I haven't got it to show you, it's all the way at the other end of the room, but it's the same yarn as the yarn I'm going to show you for the next project in a different colour. So I'll just have a look on the label so I know what it's called. It's the Drops Alpaca Mix. It's 100% alpaca yarn, but it's called a mix because the colour, now whether this is going to come across on the camera or not, I'm not sure, but the colour is like a peacock blue. It's got hints of sort of little flashes of green in it, and I have showed it before. If you're watching this podcast after just watching the last straight after just watching the last episode, it's probable that I just showed you this, so you might already know the details for the yarn. It's got this beautiful lace pattern in it at the front, so I just wonder if I can show you like that. I'm not sure how well that will show, but hopefully you can see. And despite the fact that it's absolutely baking outside, I'm going to put it on so that you can see what it looks like on, because on other people's podcasts I love it when people actually show what the garment looks like on, even if it's just a scarf or a hat or whatever, especially when it's jumpers. So I think if I stand up you'll be able to see it properly. So I love the fit of it, it's perfect under the arms. I was a bit worried when I was knitting it that it was going to be too small, but it is literally perfect. It's not pinching and it's not all baggy. I think I've done the sleeve length perfectly, but I do like to usually just roll it up a bit like this when I'm wearing it. Usually I only do that really when I've got a long sleeve under it, so it's just the right length when it's down. And there's the back of it. So I really like the way that it's quite fitted, but without being tight. So I don't feel as if it's clinging onto my body, but I feel as if it's showing my figure off quite nicely. I've got a bit of cellophane stuck to my foot, sorry. There's Charlie. You might have seen the door go. Hi Charlie. I don't think you can see Charlie. Hiya, no then. But you can hear her panting, no doubt. Hiya Charlie. You're too low for everybody to see you, so it looks like I'm talking to nothing. So hopefully you can see this jumper. Maybe you can see a bit of Charlie, I'm not sure. Charlie. Charlie, come here. Come here. I don't know if you can see her. Probably not. I'll just give her a little kiss. Okay, going to lay down? Going to lay down? She's probably going to pant for the rest of the podcast. Anyway, so there's my Carpino. What do I need to remember to tell you? I'll give you a close-up here of the neckline actually. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's anything like near the camera for you, but on the pattern it tells you to do an I-cord bind off. I'm going to take it off because it's really hot. But I didn't, I just left it. I didn't do any kind of finishing on the neckline. So I just literally, you cast you cast it on, it's top down in the round, you cast it on the neckline, and can't remember what cast on, but obviously it'll tell you in the pattern, and then you join in the round, and then you just knit round and round, and then you're supposed to go back and do, well, you can do a bind off or a finishing of your choice. Some people have done a bit of rib, and I thought that that's what I was going to do originally, but when I finished it and put it on before doing the neck edging, I just loved it like it was, so I've just left it like that. So there's my finished Carpino, not yet on Ravelry. I haven't put any of this on Ravelry yet, so that should be one of my goals. I definitely think I should make that one of my goals for this year, I think, is to update all of my Ravelry project pages, because I do think it's really good. It's good for me because then I can look back, and if I want to knit something again, I know exactly how I knitted it. So Carpino, it's so warm as well. Not that I need it today, but I have needed it the last week because we've had some chilly weather. So it's been very, very cosy and lovely to wear. So that's my Carpino. That's a finished project. I'm really pleased with it. And the thing that I'm knitting next, you cast this on, I think it was last week. Got it in one of my Lupin Bar bags. I love this one. It's got a little bit of floral fabric in it, and I've just got little knots on this one. Usually I put little heart buttons on, but because it's for me, I just put little knots in, which actually means that it doesn't open out as fully as it should do, which is a bit silly, but it's only mine, so on the ones that I sell they do open out fully. Anyway, so inside there I have got, well, it's actually not in there, but the pattern is. There's no point me showing you the picture to the pattern for this because my printer's rubbish and you won't really see anything. I will do my very best to try and put a picture of this pattern, which is, by the way, called the Grace Cardigan, by Jane Richmond. Yeah, you can get this on Ravelry, or she's got her own website, but you can definitely download this as a single pattern on Ravelry. So it's a cardigan called the Grace, and if I can possibly do it, I'll put a picture in here. But if the technological knowledge fails me and I can't do that, then I'll just show you the cardigan, and perhaps by the next podcast I might have been able to sort out some sort of better image for you to see what it will look like, or you might just have to wait till it's finished, or you could just look it up, just put in Grace Cardigan in Ravelry. Here's the yarn. I've got quite a lot of it. It's, as I said, the Drops Alpaca Mix, so it's the same yarn that I've used for the Carpino. I loved it so much I just wanted to knit a cardigan with it as well. And I've got it in the, oh, it just says, oh, hang on, I think it's called the Dark Olive. Oh, it doesn't say it on the label. It only says a colour number, but they've got names on the website. I've got this from Wool Warehouse website. So I think it's the Dark Olive Mix, and it's got the most beautiful sort of mixture of greens and yellow tones in there. I really am a fan of yarns that are sort of tonal, like, would you even call it mild? I don't know, but you know, when you've got like a blend of different colours going on in the fibres in the yarn, it's gorgeous. So I'm loving that, loving using the yarn again. And it's a top-down knit all-in-one. It's not in the round, obviously, because it's a cardigan, so you don't join it in the round, but it's top-down and you knit the whole thing with the sleeve and raglan increases, and then it's got a little lace panel here at the front, which you're going to see in a second. And I'm on to the bit where I've separated the sleeves already, so it's very exciting to be able to show you so much. I can't believe how much I've knit, actually. So I've only been doing this for a few days. Hang on, getting it a bit tangled up. And I did manage to finish a row before starting the podcast. So hopefully I can show you it as well as possible. So there it is so far. So like I say, you start at the top, and I will be picking up stitches for a garter stitch. No, not garter. Yeah, I think it is a garter stitch neckline and button band all in one at some point. Well, at the end probably will be the last thing I do. So there's the lovely lace panel at the front. Oops. So it's got a dropped neckline at the front, which I really love. Because I love my featherweight cardigan. I've been wearing it like nearly every day. But the thing that's frustrated me about it, only when it's cold, is that it doesn't button up because it's designed to be worn as an open fronted cardigan. And sometimes I've worn it and I've used one of my rosewood cable needles as a sort of cardigan, shawl hook type thing, and just kind of pinned it closed together. But the next cardigan that I wanted to knit, I definitely wanted it to button up at the front, so that's this one. And I haven't found any buttons for it yet, I totally forgot that. So that'll be fun. I'll be able to do a little button search online for those. I'm thinking some dark buttons would be nice, maybe some little dark wooden ones. So there it is so far. I've separated for the sleeves, and the lace panel is only on the top section, of the front. So as you can see, I've started on the stocking stitch now. It kind of just follows into stocking stitch. If anybody's knit the Grace cardigan, there's something you might have noticed, possibly or possibly not. I've slightly modified the lace pattern. All I've done is, it's like a mesh lace pattern. I don't want to give too much away because it's a paid for pattern, but the lace should work like a brickwork, if you like, I think. So a row of eyelets and then a row of offset eyelets, like that, if you imagine. I think that's what it should look like, but mainly because I found it a bit difficult to follow the chart for some reason. It's not written in a difficult way, it's just that I somehow struggled with it, I'm not sure why. The only way I could make sense of it in my head, how to do it, was to make the lace holes go diagonally. They were lined up diagonally, so if you can tell, is this the good side or the mistakey side? It's probably the good side. My lace goes in sort of diagonal lines. So that's not what the actual original lace pattern looks like. It is eyelets, it's all just eyelets like that, but they're just arranged slightly differently. But I really like it, and it's given me a slightly closer lacework pattern there, which I think I prefer as well, because I don't want it to be too stretched over the front of me. And for that reason also, at the part here where you do some increases to get the neckline shape, and then at some point you cast on a few extra stitches just here, which gives it that extra bit of shape, brings it forward a bit so that the two sides will meet when you want to put your button band on. I've cast on a couple of extra stitches, extra to what the pattern says, just because I thought that it wasn't going to meet without stretching it out too much. So, and the other reason for that is because the gauge that's required to knit the pattern, I didn't get that with the needles that I want to use, and the yarn that I want to use, my sample, my gauge swatch, I did do one, I was really good. It's not there. Where is it? No, it's not there. Doesn't matter anyway, because you can see the cardigan. Don't know where it is. The gauge swatch turned out too small, so I went up a needle size to try and get the correct gauge, but the fabric was the fabric was a bit too loose. I'm just going to check that we're still recording. It's going to be that kind of episode. It is. Amazing. Gosh, I haven't even talked for half an hour yet. Sorry. Probably going to do that all the way through the episode. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Oh, here it is. Totally paranoid that I'm going to have to edit those bits out. Here's my gauge swatch. So that's the fabric. This is the fabric that I'm happy with. The swatch that I knitted on half a needle size up gave me a fabric that was too loose, and I didn't want that, especially with the lace panel. So I stuck with the, what size am I using? 3.5mm needles on my Addy circulars, using my Addy, one of my favourite needles. And winging it, sort of guessing it, I've just gone up 2 sizes. it seems to be working. I've had to obviously knit quite a bit of it to get to the point where I can try it on, to know whether it's actually going to fit me or not. I did start off just doing one size up, but I could tell after a few inches that it was going to be too small, so I ripped it all out. And then I did the lace a bit wrong, so I ripped it all out again. So I think this is the 4th time I started this cardigan, but it's not through any fault of the pattern. It's just because I wasn't concentrating, or because I was having problems with getting my size right, because I basically didn't get the gauge right. So I'll just put it on and you can see, whoa, how do I do this? You can see how it's fitting me so far. It might be a bit tricky because it's still very tiny. So I can pull it down at the back a bit. So, and I don't think it's going to be too tight under the arms. I think it's going to be just right. I measured it against the Carpino. So, what are the other things I've done to it? I've written them on the pattern, so I could tell you. It's not there though. Oh, here we are. Oh, also, there's supposed to be a lace panel on the back, but I've just taken that out because I wanted it to be plain on the back. That's one of the things I've done. I've used knit front back for some of the increases instead of make ones, because I find them easier, and yeah, I just wanted to do that. You can't do it for everyone, but I've also knitted a deeper raglan. So the measurement that it gives you to knit down, once you've done your increases, it says it gives you the depth to knit to. But it just wasn't going to be deep enough. I could tell that by looking at some of the other stuff I've knit. So I basically went by my Carpino, which I feel is the perfect raglan depth. And again, I've winged it a little bit because it's not going to be the exact same as the Carpino, because I've still got to put a button band on here. So I don't know. I won't know until I've done it, obviously, how it's going to turn out. But I think it's looking okay so far. It feels like it's a good fit so far. I'm really pleased with the front. I don't know if I need to bob down to show you. I'll do that. So I really feel like it's going to fit just how I want it to. It's a bit hard to know because the cable's bunching up, so it feels like it's going to be tight under my arms, but I don't think it is going to be tight under my arms. And I've done something weird when I've put it on, look, so of course that's making it feel tighter. So that's what it's like at the moment. I'm really enjoying knitting it, and all I've got to do now for the next however many rows is just knit straight down. There is some shaping in the pattern, but I'm just knitting it straight, so that's another modification that I'm doing, is that I'm not doing the waist or the hip shaping. I'm just going to literally knit straight down because I love that about my featherweight. It's just a nice straight shape and it just fits and falls beautifully. So I'm probably not going to do it quite as long as some of the pictures on the Ravelry project pages for this cardigan as well. I think I'm just going to do it the same length as my featherweight because I love it. It just falls on the waist kind of, so I'm really enjoying that. So that's the Grace cardigan. It's a really lovely pattern. There's some lovely examples of it on Ravelry if you want to have a look. And I think it's going to be a really lovely, too late for spring, but obviously spring next year, but autumn cardigan, or like late summer evening for me because I get cool and I need woolly layers at all times of the year really. But it's sort of, because it's fingering weight, it's quite lightweight, so I think it'll be perfect for that. Okay, we're still recording, can't quite believe it. Feel like I've talked for ages, but obviously we're still recording, so that's fine. I'll just keep talking. So that was my cardigan. I'll show you an acquisition. I bought this, me and Avion went away ages ago to Aberystwyth. I don't think I've showed this on the podcast. I don't know if I've shown this anywhere. Maybe I put a picture on Ravelry to show people, possibly. But I got a book, and it's a lovely, lovely book called Screen Printing at Home by Karen Lewis. And it's just got the most gorgeous, I'll just give you a flick through of it don't know how to do this actually backwards. Don't know if this will work. I'll have to do it that way from the back. There you go, a little flick through of the book. I don't even know if that worked or not, but it's got the most lovely instructions and some lovely projects in it. That one, that is gorgeous. Look at the tea towel. I think that's done with a doily. You don't have to have lots of equipment, it turns out, so I probably would like to get a silk screen at some point, because I'm still intending to do a bit of printing soon. I haven't done any yet. I've only got as far as getting this book and looking through it. But you can have a go, apparently, with, where does it show you? With an embroidery hoop, an old embroidery hoop, and some, oh, where does it show the picture? There we are. A masking tape and something like a doily or a paper template, and obviously your fabric and your inks. So that'll be a nice way to try some printing out actually, before investing in any of the equipment that you need. So that was a lovely buy. I'll just put it back on the bookshelf because that's where I was keeping it. Ooh. On the dresser. So I can't wait to have a go of that. Whoops. Sorry, probably bashed the camera there a bit. I haven't done any more of my illustration yet because I've just got myself busy with loads of other stuff, but I do intend to do that, and that's why I bought the screen printing book as well, because yeah, that's the direction it's hopefully going to go in. But I've been sewing, if you've seen on Instagram lately, I've had a bit of a break from Instagram, not an intentional one, I just happened to not go on it for ages. I think I go in phases actually with Instagram. But the last few days I've been doing a bit of a photo shoot for something that I've been making. If you've been on Instagram and seen any of my posts in the last few days, you will probably have seen this. And it's what I'm going to show you next. Why was I talking about Instagram? Oh, I don't know what I was going to say then. Doesn't matter, that's fine, I'll just carry on. So the next thing I'll show you is a sewing project. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to, I totally remembered what I was going to say because it's right next to me on the wall. I've got it pinned on the wall here. So the bunting that I've been making, which you can possibly see behind me. I've got some there, I think you can see that. I think that's in the frame as well, the tea time bunting. I'll show you that in more detail in a minute. So that's, the letters there are appliqued on to the front, but I think I'd also like to have a go at screen printing, and these are just some sketches on an envelope that I've done, but these are my first ideas. I'd quite like to have a go at actually screen printing the letters on with some really nice little sort of illustrative motifs around them as well. So perhaps in the near future that's what's coming up as well. If people like the bunting and it turns out to be popular, then I think I might take it in that direction as well as carrying on with the sewn pieces. So I've had a lot of fun designing and making this bunting. It's been a work in progress for a long time, well not a long time, I'd say quite a few weeks really since I had the idea. The first thing I did was just try out some different colours together with letters. I just chose a really plain font because it needs to be easy to read and easy to sort of applique around as well. So that one's just put on, oh, I don't know if you can hear that, there's a farmer outside. It's not Avion. Oh, it's not, it's Reese. Hang on, sorry, I've got to go. Okay, hi, I'm back. Sorry about that, there was somebody at the door and I had to go and give him an envelope that Avion had left for him, and then ended up having a chat because it's Avion's friend. And I've totally forgotten where I was up to, but I think because I've got bunting in front of me, that's what I was talking about. So, oh yeah, that's it, I was showing you this. So that was the first stage of making the bunting, just trying out different colour combinations and letters. These are my letters. I've got a little sort of box full of these, and they've got, what's that stuff called? It's iron-on glue. That stuff that you iron on and then it's gluey. And then you iron it down onto the fabric and it makes it a lot easier to zigzag stitch. Sorry, I was hiccup while I was talking. Right, I'll compose myself. Okay, so I did a few little samples. I've made like a little sampley booklet just to try out the different colour combinations of threads and letters, colours of letter on different backgrounds, and different bindings. That's just a plain cream binding, which I might use for some of them, but so far I've used some self-made binding. But I quite like the plain cream as well, so I might do some with that too. I haven't done this one yet, but I really love this colour combination. It's actually made with some wool fabric off an old pair of trousers. So if I can get some more fabric that's herringbone brown wool, as beautiful as this, then I might, well, in the future make some tweedy style bunting as well. But for the time being, I've mainly been using the Tilda fabric, and I've worked out how to attach buttons with my sewing machine, which I'm very excited about, because I can also do that with my project bags now as well, which is extremely neater. It's a lot neater, and it's actually quicker than hand sewing them, but I prefer the finished look as well, so that's actually been a very good discovery. So I guess you can see the bunting behind me. There was a little bit in the intro at the beginning of the podcast of me doing my photo shoot. You probably noticed the chaos of the room. It's not normally as untidy as that, but at the moment it's just like a bomb's hit it. It's just, it looks absolutely like a whirlwind's been through here. But there's the bunting. I'll take it down. In fact, no, I don't have to do that. I've got one here behind me. Oh, made a mess. So I spent a really fun day a couple of days ago redoing the dresser, took everything off it and then put back things, set the camera up and then kept looking through the camera lens and putting things in the frame kind of thing, back on the dresser, but so that they look good in the frame of the photograph. Well, how I think they look nice. I think I was going for minimalist to start with, but then I just added more things on. I had a lot of fun doing a little tiny mini bit of kind of animation with the teacups, so I hope you liked that and hope you noticed it in the intro. I'm hoping to do a little bit more of that actually at some point for the podcast, for other elements of it, because I just thought that was a load of fun. And you can see the various different tea bags displayed behind me, which are going to be featured in the bunting, because it's two-sided bunting. So this is the front of it, and at the moment they all just say tea time. I might do bunting with different words on a bit further down the line, but this is just the tea time bunting. And they've got a little, I've made the binding out of the same fabric as what's on the back and of the letter as well. The bunting comes with my little sort of signature heart button and a loop here so that you can, whoops, oh I can't do it, so that you can hook it up onto something. So that's what it's like on the front. Got twisted. I'll just untwist it. Oh. Here we go. Okay. And on the back, each letter has got a pocket. And this one's not fully filled because I've just got 3 in here just to show you. But in the back of each pocket is a different tea bag. So that one's got salted caramel in it. Can I put it back in? Yep. Which one's this one? Apple and ginger, I think. They're all different brands. There might be some of the same brand, but there's a mixture of brands and flavours in each one. And a happy accident, tea time is actually 7 letters, so that's 1 tea bag for every day of the week. So I thought that was lovely. If you fancy, I mean obviously you can just have it as a decoration, even if you don't want to put anything in the pockets. I suppose you could put anything in the back pockets as well if you wanted to, it doesn't have to be tea bags. But I'm going to sell these in the Etsy shop. I'm going to be listing them in the new update, which I'll tell you about shortly, because I've still got to decide what day that's going to be on. I'm going to name a day for the update this time round, because I haven't had anything in there for a while, because I've been really busy with a load of other stuff. So because it's a new update and I've got quite a bit of bunting made to put in there, I'll name a date for it. And then I think as from then I'll just add things in as I make them, kind of thing, rather than waiting for new updates. But I'll post on Instagram when new things go into the shop, so If you want to know about updates for the shop, just keep an eye on the Instagram, loopandbar.kb on Instagram. So if you want to, for anybody who buys a bunting, you'll get the bunting, obviously, and the bunting comes with the tea bags. So each letter has got a different flavoured tea bag in the back, and all of the tea bags are these little ones that you get in envelopes. So, and no two will really be the same combination, so they'll just be random. So some of the flavours that I've got, this one's salted caramel by Twinings. I've got an apple and ginger by Dr. Stewart's, got the box there. These Heath and Heather, the boxes are beautiful. These boxes here, they're just so pretty. I'll just show you this one. I love the design, the graphic design on this. I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm actually really wanting to try it. I might try it after the podcast. I've never seen a tea with coconut in it before, so you know, if you want to try a few kooky flavours, then you'll get to do that if you get one of these buntings. There's a plain English breakfast tea. There's some sweet rhubarb, there's some licorice. One of my favourites, which is this yogi tea. Heartwarming, it's beautiful. I've had a lot of this during the winter and it's really, really, really warming and comforting and lovely to drink. It's a blend of basil, orange peel and chilli, and it's got a bit of licorice in. Oh, it's just lovely. But it's not, yeah, no, it is lovely. I was going to say, it's too hot today for it to drink it today because it's got chilli in it, but it'd be more like iced tea today. But I guess you could probably have a go at making iced tea with a lot of those as well. They might be delicious. Like maybe the dandelion, burdock and hawthorn one. Perhaps that would be nice chilled with ice. Or definitely the apple and ginger one, I think. So that's the bunting. I'm really, really pleased with it. That's what I've done it in 3 colour combinations so far. And like I say, I would like to do it in this one too. But that depends on if I can find. I know I can get, that's a Tilda fabric, the pink one, and so is the blue. But if I can get some more of this beautiful woolen herringbone fabric, then I'd really love to do it in this gorgeous sort of brown and pink and blue, because that's just, oh, I love that colour combination. But the other colours I've got made up are, I love pink and mustard. I just think, oh, I think they go so nicely together. So pink and mustard, and that's what it looks like on the back. Whoops. These are all Tilda fabrics, except for the binding, which I think is a Macawa spotty dotty fabric. And then the other combination that I have is this lovely, again, these are all Tilda, this is completely all Tilda. Ooh, these have all got tea bags in the back. Sort of a green and red and pink combination with the Tilda binding as well. So that's that one. So there's a choice of 3 colours at the moment. And whatever the letter is, that's the colour of the pocket on the back. That's how I've done it so far. I've really, really loved doing it. I love doing the zigzag stitch, can't say it, love doing it. I've got my Benina sewing machine out, so I did a bit of, I don't know if I showed that in the intro or if I'm going to show that in a minute, because I made some little Tilda fabric stars for our niece Mably, who had her birthday a few weeks ago. And I used the applique letters, and each star had a letter of her name, and they spelt out her name, and they were stuffed, so they were kind of little stuffed stars, and they had a magnet in the back so she can put them on the radiator or on the fridge and spell out her name. So I've had the Benina out, and you'll probably see that in there's a little bit of footage of me making the Mably stars, so you'll get to see the Benina in that as well, just a little tiny flash of it. I'll just put this behind me. I'm making a mess. I've just made a big mess behind me now. I'll give that an iron before I list it in the shop. So as I mentioned, I've been, did I mention? I've been making bags. I've got 2 very special bags to show you, but I'm going to leave those to last because they are part of a giveaway that I'm going to be doing. But there are some bags for the shop update. Mostly Tilda fabrics, so I'll just give you a quick sneaky peek. And these are what, oh, it smells of lavender. They've each got a little lavender sachet in them. Here's one of them. I love this new fabric. Oh, showing you it backwards. Here are the lovely little hearts that go on the drawstrings. So it's a drawstring bag, and it's completely tilde. It's got tilde inside and tilde on the outside, and it just smells divine. Each bag comes with this little mini lavender sachet that you can keep inside your project bag if you like lavender. Most people do, I think. And it just makes this pile of bags smell gorgeous. So I've got a couple of those. Those two are the same. And then there's a pink one, and again that's got tilde lining in a floral. And then another one with that floral on the outside and the red on the inside. I'm just going to flick through these quickly because it's sort of shop update stuff really. Oh, I love this one. The red deers. I love the blue deers too. I just think they're gorgeous, these fabrics. So they've all got sort of different combinations of outer fabrics and inside linings. That's got a different drawstring fabric and then a sort of floral lining. All tilde again. That's got a bit heavy, I'll put those down. There's the little birdies. I've still got some of this fabric left, so there should be some more of these. I'm only showing you one, but hopefully there'll be some more with tilde inside. And for those of you who maybe are still waiting to see if you can get one of these, I have got some more of the heartwood fabric. Pretty much sure that it was my last podcast where I said that it's been discontinued. It has definitely been discontinued because I wrote to the actual company and they told me it's been discontinued. But I managed to find some more in stock on possibly eBay or one of the websites where I buy my fabric. So I was really pleased to grab a few more meters of this in the blue and in the grey. I'll show you that one in a minute. I've only made up 2, but I will be making up more of these as well. So just keep your eye on the shop for those if you would like to get one of the heartwood fabrics, because it's one of my favourite fabrics. It's got all the woodland animals on it and it's just so gorgeous. I'm just going to check if we're still recording. So bad that I have to keep... Yeah, okay, sorry. Still recording. And I've made a larger bag, so I've experimented. I have previously made a couple of larger size bags with zips and sold a couple of those through the shop, so they went quite nicely. But I wanted to make a larger drawstring bag because I do love working with zips, and I use the zips for the little notions pouches, which I haven't made any of those up, but hopefully there will be some of those in the shop update as well. But I wanted to have a go at doing a drawstring larger bag because a couple of people have asked me if I'm going to be doing any of those. So I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. And it's larger, so I'll just show you it next to a small one so you can do a size comparison. And I mean, the small one, I'm using my one exactly this size to carry my cardigan around in, cardigan grace pattern. Pretty sure I have my Carpino jumper, so like a fingering weight small jumper will fit into here. Maybe not with all of the yarn that you need, just the yarn that you need for the bit that you're working on. Definitely obviously sock patterns or baby patterns, all of that. But the larger one, I'm sure you could fit your whole jumper if it's a lightweight jumper. Obviously it depends on the size that you're knitting and what yarn you're using, but you can fit a larger project into this bag. And it's still box bottom. And like I say, it's drawstring. I've only done one so far, but I'll try and do a couple more maybe for the update, or I might just see if this one goes, if it sells, before I make any more. It's got a really lovely mint green spot fabric. And what I've decided to do for the larger bag, it comes with a lavender pouch like all of the others. And this bag, well, now whether I can show you it okay, or I'm not sure if this is going to work, but it's got a pocket inside. So I don't know if you can see that. But it's got a large pocket inside, so I always find that's quite nice. The other bags don't have pockets, they're just called the Sweet and Simple, they're just a little drawstring bag. But I thought for the larger one, if you've got a larger project, you might have a few more things in your bag. It might be harder to find stuff at the bottom of it, so you can put your pencil, your pattern, your notions pouch or something down into the little pocket that's in there. So it's just a little extra section really, and it's aligned. I wonder if I can show you it like this. Oh yeah, and what I forgot to say as well is this bag's a little bit stiffer because it's got an interlining, so it's got like a canvasy fabric between the main fabric and the lining. So I'll just show you it with it folded down. There we go. Sorry, fiddling around with it. So there you go, there's the pocket. Sort of makes two sections in the bottom of the bag. I've just lined the pocket with some linen. So that's a larger one. Don't know what the measurements are yet because I haven't measured it properly yet. So I'll put that on the Etsy listing when it goes onto Etsy. Obviously that will cost a little bit more than the Sweet and Simple ones because it's bigger and it's got more stuff in it. And the other thing, I've showed this bag on the podcast before, but in fact I'll show you the idea first. Something I think I'd like to do is possibly, and this would have to be custom listings on Etsy, so I'd probably do them in small batches, custom listings, like 5 at a time or something. But I'd like to do, this is just this isn't the bag obviously, I've just started doing it. I'd like to do them with the initial on the front, so if you want a bag with your initial, I've just done K for Kate obviously, pretty much embroidered on to the bag. I'm thinking of doing some custom listings. I think what I'll do is I'll work out 2 or 3 different colour combinations, and they will be the options in the listing. So you just choose the colour combination that you like, tell me what your initial is or the letter that you want on the front of your bag, and then you'll basically get the Sweet and Simple. So I'll make a proper one up to show on the Etsy listing, and I don't know if that's going to appear in the very next Etsy update, but this is what I'll be working on sort of in the next few updates. So that will be for a Sweet and Simple sized drawstring bag. So simple in that it's just a plain pouch with no pockets or anything. It'll be that size with your initial on the front. Not appliqued on yet, just pinned, but that's kind of how it will look. In the style of, I'll show you this one that I made a long time ago, and I do love this stripy fabric, and I wonder if I might be able to get some more of this because I'm going back to this fabric shop soon. So that's one I made for myself. The K is a bit low on this. On the ones I'm planning to make, the letter would be a bit more central, so it would be matched up a bit better. This is just an experiment, so you've got to do a few trials before you get the thing right, haven't you? So yeah, possibly in the future for Etsy there'll be some initial bags as custom listings, so we'll just see. Let me know what you think. That's something you might be interested in. I'll talk about the 2 special little bags now. I've got a few. I need to give them a little roller with a sticky thing because Charlie's been helping a lot here in this room lately. And might be a couple of dog hairs on these, but these are ones that I'm going to give away. They are they're not one-offs because there's 2 of them, but they're definitely not going to be repeated. They're definitely not going to be for sale in the Etsy shop. My foot's squeaking on the footstool, sorry. I'll put them on the floor and then they won't make silly noises. So just a disclaimer before I show you these are not going to be available in the Etsy shop because I don't have any more of this fabric now. And I've showed it before in the form of a bag in the podcast, and I did get lots of inquiries, which was so lovely. But I can't make these to order, or I can't make any more of these in the shop. Basically, I just found some more of this fabric in my stash. I definitely wanted to use it for what I've made. And that's it, I've used it all up. There's none left, and I can't get hold of any more because it's from America. So definitely not feasible to import that fabric to make the bags out of, unfortunately. But to celebrate Lupin Bar being 1 year old in June, I know we're a bit late because it's July now, but to celebrate that, and the fact that we've got over 1,000 subscribers on the podcast, I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but the numbers are creeping up, which is brilliant. So thank you to anybody who's newly subscribed, or just to everybody who continues to watch the podcast and is joining in with the Ravelry group. That's lovely too. But to celebrate all of that and say thank you to all the lovely subscribers and all the lovely people that watch the podcast and give me such a lot of lovely feedback, I've made 2 special bags. So there'll be 2 winners for a giveaway, a birthday giveaway. And here are the bags. Ta-da! I love them. I really want to keep them, but I can't because I've made them for you. So they're both the same except they've got a different colour lining, so I'll show you one of them. And it's got these beautiful bluebirds on. Like I say, they need a little bit of a roll over with the sticky roller thingy, so just ignore it if you see any bits of fluff on them. Yeah, there's a bit of fluff on that one there. Anyway, so there's the bag. It's a box bottom, like all of the others. You might notice, I'm going to put it next to one of my standard sized Sweet and Simple. It's longer and thinner. Now that shape was dictated largely by the fact that I just had 4 repeats left of the birds. And on each bag you've got the birds on the back and on the front, looking beautiful. So basically I had to make a longish thin bag, and I wanted to put a contrast on the bottom so that when I folded over the corners for the box bottom I didn't lose any of the bird detail. So I ended up with what I'm going to call the, what am I going to call it? The mini sock duffel bag. It's a drawstring, as are, ooh, birdies have disappeared, as are most of my the bags that I make. And this one's got a minty green dotty lining in it. And this one has got a sort of pale pink dotty lining in. And they've got the little hearts on the drawstrings. And I thought these were really lovely for fitting a sock project in. You'd fit another small, again, you'd probably fit a small finger and weight shawl project or a baby cardigan project, that kind of thing in. But perfect for socks because the way that I knit my socks is always on my higher sharps, which are very long. And they do fit into the normal Sweet and Simple bag, no problem at all. But I just thought they'd be quite nice because you could put your cake of yarn at the bottom here, and then you've got your sock project sort of on top of it, and the higher sharps are often quite long needles, so they fit quite nicely. And I just love the dimensions of it. I just think it looks really different and sweet, so hopefully you love them too. Whoops, dropped it. And if you'd like a chance to win one of these bags, there are 2 to win, so there'll be 2 winners. If you'd like a chance to win one of these little mini sock duffels, 1 off 2 times 2, I will be opening a giveaway thread in the Ravelry group. So if you are a subscriber to the podcast, pop over to the Loop and Bar Ravelry group, look for the, what have I called it? Hang on, I've written it down. It's going to be called the Loop and Bar birthday thread, so look out for that. And just tell me that you would like to enter. I'm not going to put a prompt question because I can't think of one, because I didn't think of one before I started recording. So yeah, just let me know that you'd like to be entered to win one of the giveaway bags. And I think that I'll give that 2 weeks, let's say 2 weeks. And I'll draw, got my trusty calendar in front of me, so it's the 6th today. I'll open the Ravelry the giveaway thread in the next couple of days. So let's say I'll have done that by the 8th, which is Saturday. Let's say I'll draw on the 22nd. Let me write that down. 22nd draw. I'll put that on my calendar in a little while. I'll draw that prize on the 22nd, so if you want to win that, let me know. I want to tell you about some little things that I made for my other niece, who's just had her birthday. She turned 5. I haven't got them with me, so I can't show them here and now. I've got that thing stuck to my foot again. A bit of plastic keeps getting stuck on my foot. I've got bare feet because it's so hot. Very annoying. I'm just going to talk about them, and hopefully, if I can work out how to do it in iMovie, which is what I use to edit the podcast, I will hopefully be putting a little bit of footage as I'm talking to tell you about the little donkeys that I made. And I can't believe it, I forgot to look up the person who wrote the pattern, so I'll try to put that information on as well. So my little niece was 5 at the weekend, and she had a birthday party, and they've got a really big garden. They live on a farm, and they've got lots of lovely land around them and beautiful backdrop of they're in a valley basically, so they've got these beautiful pine forests kind of surrounding them, and it's kind of like in a sun bowl as well where their house is, where their farm is. So they've got the house, and then they've got some gardens around it, And then beyond that there's a big red brick walled garden, which is currently sort of just a bit overgrown, and I think they want to do something with it eventually, but for the time being, for Evie's party, they had some donkeys. So a lovely man from somewhere quite local brought a couple of his donkeys. He's got a herd of about 26, I think. He brought 2 of his lovely donkeys with him, and some little helmets, and the children at the party could have donkey rides. Oh, it was amazing. So as part of Evie's present, I knitted her 2 little tiny donkey finger puppets. I think I've done them before and shown them on the podcast as well. I've knitted them for my friend's little girl who they have donkeys. They actually have them on their farm. But I knitted Evie a couple more. So I used Shetland Spindrift. It's quite sort of tweedy, beautiful fabric yarn. So I used these Jameson Spindrift yarn to make these, and I really love them. I just think they're so cute. And I think this pattern could be used to make unicorns as well. So if you wanted to do it a white horse or a sparkly pink horse or something, or donkey, and then somehow just fashion a little tiny sort of cone for its horn and do some crazy colours for its mane, I think you could probably get a unicorn out of it too. So I might do that for Evie. I might do that for all of my nieces because I think they'd love it. So hopefully you've just seen the little donkeys, and the other thing that I made for her, as well as I bought her a dress. I caved in. I was just going to do her handmade stuff, but then I saw this dress online and I just had to get her. It's just so gorgeous. I haven't put that on the podcast at all because I didn't make it, but she got a dress from me as well, from me and Avion. But also my lovely friend Jo, who's in the Ravelry group. Hey Jo. She has been crocheting these beautiful little crowns as props for her Gertie photo bus that she's currently preparing, ready for going out and taking to weddings and doing photo shoots and things. So it looks really exciting, and if you follow her on Instagram, she is Me and My Makes, or she's Jo in the Ravelry group. No, she's Me and My Makes in the Ravelry group, but her name's Jo. I saw that she'd crocheted these really lovely crowns. They're kind of props for children to wear when they're having their photos taken at weddings. So I thought they looked really cute, and she sent me some beautiful yarn that she had left over to crochet, and the pattern as well, to crochet these lovely little crowns with. So I haven't got it on me because I can't find it. The rest of the yarn, I don't know why I can't find it. I just see if it's in the basket over there. Wait a second. Yes, it is. Brilliant. Okay, so what she suggested was using the lovely sparkly yarn that she sent me, and then also using some cotton to crochet in with it to make it a little bit stiffer. So this is the yarn that Jo sent for me, and it's got little sequins in it, making it sparkly and gorgeous. I'm not sure what the yarn content is, actually, but it's quite sort of soft and fluffy. And then I got some just plain cotton from my local yarn shop, so they go quite nicely together. And I just held it double basically, and crocheted using the pattern. I crocheted this little crown. So hopefully I'm showing you some video of the crown as well. And is that in here? Don't know if I've got any left. Yeah, I've got the tiniest bit. How much have I got of this? Oh, I've got... okay, so sorry about that. Should have got that out earlier. But ages ago I was given this. I've used it on a couple of projects, actually, sparkly, girly sort of little projects. It's just velvet ribbon with sequins on it too. So I just stitched some of that around the rim, and I think Jo's got her eye on it. I think she said she'd like to try putting that on some of her crowns. So actually, Jo, I didn't realise, but I've got this left. I'm sending it to you. Okay, so look out for that in the post, Jo. I'll send you that bit left, and hopefully there's enough for you to put around at least a couple of your crowns. And then I don't know where else you might be able to buy it from. So Jo, I'll put that in the post to you as a big thank you for sending the yarn and the lovely pattern. So hopefully you've just seen that little crown. It went down very well. She really liked it. And it stands up nice and sort of on its own, so you can just kind of... It actually fitted around my little sort of bun here. so I could wear one if I wanted to. And I've got some white, Joe also sent me some white yarn just like that with the same sequins, so I might make one for my other little niece. There's probably enough left there to make a couple more between the two yarns, so I've got two other little nieces who probably would like a sparkly crochet crown, so I've got enough to make a couple more there. So that was fun. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I wish you all a very lovely week ahead. Hopefully we'll all get some lovely weather, or if it's too hot for you, hopefully you'll get a bit of cooler weather. Who knows? You know, we're in Britain. Well, we are. Not everybody is who's watching. We'll probably get a mixture. Anyway, I hope you get some lovely time in the week ahead to do some knitting or relaxing or something that you love doing. And I want to say thank you for watching this episode, if you're still here. Another epic one, I suspect, and I hope you enjoy the footage. I've got a little bit of footage of the cows, and what else have I put in there? Where's my notebook? A little bit of the garden, because my garden's been growing a little bit. I've concentrated on one small area and I've been doing a little bit of veg growing, so I'll pop a bit of footage in at the end, I think, of the cows and of the garden, and maybe a couple more things. I'm not sure yet because I can't remember what order I've put them all in my iMovies, so we'll see. So thank you for watching and have a lovely week, and I will see you hopefully in the next episode. Bye!